welcome back to my library bookstore. How are you, Tiffany? How have you been? The moment I started talking, Bug immediately showed up. He was like, what are we saying? What's going on? I want to know. I want to be a part of it. Today, we have a book haul. You may or may not know, I went on vacation. I got back like a few days ago. It was really just like a staycation, really. My friend came to visit me and I just took a few days off. You know how it is. I happened to buy every single book that has ever been created ever. I bought so many books. It's an insane amount of books. I thought for some reason while I was on vacation that the world was my oyster, that money was no issue. In my world, when I was on vacation, the limit did not exist. It does though. It does exist. I bought a lot of books. I also bought a bunch of manga, which I'm not going to include in this video, but just know a manga haul is imminent. But anyway, Tiffany, just so you know, I'm an artsy fartsy kind of girly. I love being creative. I always have been a very creative person. And that's where today's sponsor, Craftsy, comes in. Craftsy is a place for creative people like me, probably also like you. They have a bunch of classes, like over 2,000, where you can learn about knitting, sewing, crocheting, baking, cooking, cake decorating. If you can think it, my guy, you can do it. They have classes on like journaling, writing, drawing, painting, sketching, like literally anything and everything creative. Craftsy has you covered. It's truly an online resource for anything and everything creative. Lately on Craftsy, I've been taking a lot of classes on drawing, on sketching, and I took one called Sketching 101 by this wonderful woman named Mary Fawn. She goes over just like the very basics of sketching. She goes over like texture techniques. She goes over like how to hold the pencil correctly and like pressure. She goes into so much detail that like you wouldn't think that you would need that much detail, but then when she goes into it, it's kind of just like, well, duh, of course you would need that much detail. The classes on Craftsy aren't taught by just like randos, right? They're taught by experts, by people who are like leading figures in their fields, which is something that I really appreciate because each time I take a new class, I know that I can trust that this person knows exactly what they're talking about. As a premium member of Craftsy, you'll have access to live tutorials taught by these very expert, fancy people and engage in that community in real time. Listen, Tiffany, I'm about to blow your mind, okay? Because each time Craftsy sponsors me, which I'm obsessed with them, I'm like, how are you doing this? But basically, the first 1,000 people who click the link in my description and sign up to become first-time members with Craftsy will get their first year for $1.49. Let me say that again. New members, the first 1,000 people to click the link in my description will get Craftsy for 1 full year for $1.49. That's access to so much premium content for so little money. This deal is crazy. I truly and genuinely do not know how they do it, but I'm not complaining. The first 1,000 people to click the link in my description will get their first year of Craftsy for $1.49. Click the link in my description. Sign up. A cup of coffee is more expensive. That's crazy to me. Anyway, I can't recommend Craftsy enough. I love their service. Thank you so much to Craftsy for sponsoring today's video. Let's start our book haul. When the Wolf Comes Home by Nat Cassidy. Now, in case you don't know, Tiffany, and this is gonna be like a little bit of a self-plug, but I do have a Patreon. For May and June, our book club pick is When the Wolf Comes Home by Nat Cassidy. And we always have a co-host on my Patreon, on my book club. And can you guess who the co-host is gonna be? It's going to be Mr. Nat Cassidy. It's going to be the guy who wrote this freaking book. We're going to read this book by Nat Cassidy and then have the co-host be Nat Cassidy. And this will be, I think, the third time that he's on my Patreon. He is a seminal classic. He is the perfect guest. He's so freaking nice. Like, it's actually crazy how nice he is as a person. It's fun to be like, oh, your books are really cool. But then it's also like another thing to be like, your books are really cool. And then also you as a person, you're just the greatest. My patrons and I also think that he's like a total girl's girl. In our last live show, we told him as much and he agreed. Nat Cassidy also thinks that he's a girl's girl. Love and obsessed with. If you're interested in joining my Patreon, there's always a link in the description. You can always join. We do reading sprints. We do exclusive content. There's always exclusive readathons going on and stuff like that. We do movie nights. The movie night that we're going to do soon is going to be Katie Coulson with the movie Signs because she's never seen it. Famously, she's never seen it. But anyway, if you're interested, check out the Patreon. This book I read before it came out. I read the PDF. I read the PDF because Nat Cassidy himself emailed it to me. Thank you so much, Nat. This book is about this girl who's kind of like living a dead-end life, basically. She's like a dead-end job. She doesn't really have any like relationships to speak of. And her father has just passed away. And she has very like complicated feelings about it. She's like, should I feel sad about this? Should I feel happy about it? Like, what should I do? As the first chapter title suggests, all dads are motherfuckers. I wouldn't know. I don't know my father. And maybe that's also proof that he's a motherfucker. She ends up having to care for this boy who is seemingly being chased by his father. But his father seems very violent, very not good. The boy's father might be a wolf. It's a crazy book to describe, Tiffany. I'm not even going to lie to you. But yeah, we will be reading this for my Patreon. The book is stunning. Look at that wolf. The wolf is kind of hot. I'm not even going to lie. Anyway, I did also pick up a hardcover copy of The Buffalo Hunter by Stephen Graham Jones. In the physical bookstores, all they have is the paperback version of this, which I think is a crime because the hardcover is stunning. And I knew immediately when I saw the hardcover and when I saw that it had a red sprayed edge, I was like, well, I obviously need that version of it and not this like poor person version of like a paperback. Like, ew, what is this? Like a 2006 thriller? I don't think so. This is a 2025 release. Give the man a hardcover. Put it in the stores. Anyway, I've heard such good things about this that it honestly kind of gives me hope because I have a very complicated relationship with Steven and I think he knows that. He doesn't know that, actually. He doesn't know I exist, but either way, I want to believe that he knows that. I don't think he does. But anyway, The Buffalo Hunter, from what I can understand, is an epistolary novel, which I recently learned what that was. Didn't know what it was before. I just heard people saying it and I was like, it's probably like some kind of fancy thing or something. And maybe you don't know what it is. An epistolary novel is basically like a novel told through letters. And I know that now. Bro, if I was wrong, can you imagine if I'm wrong? That's so embarrassing. All I really know about it is that it's an epistolary novel told from the point of view of like a priest, I think, or then there's like a guy who's like a vampire. I'm not sure. But like I said, I have a complicated relationship with Steven. I really am on the fence with most of his books. Most of his books work for me in some way, but then they really don't in other ways. The Only Good Indians, I loved the first half. Like the first half of that book is 5 stars. The second half, he lost me. And that kind of happened like a few times with his books. The only book of his that I like really love is The Night of the Mannequins. Also, My Heart is a Chainsaw. Wasn't bad either. This I've heard really good things about and I have really high hopes for. Let me know if you want to see like a reading vlog or something for this. Let me know. I do want to find like that official Stephen Graham Jones novel that's like a 5-star read because I haven't found that yet, but I really want it, Stephen. Give it to me, Stephen. Okay, let's talk about more horror. Polybius. Polybius? I'm not sure actually how to pronounce that. I saw this, I think, briefly before it came out. It wasn't really on my radar, but then I saw it in the bookstore while I was on vacation. And I was like, that's a horror novel in the horror section. Let me buy it. Oh my God, I have something in my eye. Excuse me. Excuse me. I have something in my eye. Excuse me. God, Tiffany. Just like, give me a minute, you know? Like, I have something in my eye. Just like, wait. Tiffany, can you wait? Thank you. Okay, it's gone. I really like the cover for this. I honestly, can I be honest with you? I didn't read the synopsis before I bought it. I didn't, Tiffany. Does that make me bad? Am I a bad girl? Maybe. This is about this girl named Andy. Andy isn't like other girls, okay? She's different. She's better than other girls. I mean, actually, okay, it doesn't say that, but that's kind of like the vibe I got, and not even like an ironic way. I'm like, Andy sounds cool as hell. She sounds like a better girl than me. She lives in this small seaside town, right? And she has dreams about going to Silicon Valley. She has dreams that are bigger than the town that she's currently in, but right now she's working this dead-end job with a deadbeat boss who's just like addicted to coke or something like that. It's also 1982. Keep that in mind. So Andy works at Home Video World, which I'm assuming is like a Blockbuster, but maybe like family owned. She just spends all day kind of just like repairing things around the store. That's kind of like her job. Until one day they bring in this like new game called Polybius or I honestly want to say, and I know you're like, Jordan, stop. Don't even do it. I want to say Polybussy. I want to call it Polybussy. Is that wrong? So anyway, they bring in this new game called Polybussy. Immediately, bro. This like store that kind of is usually dead. All of a sudden, patrons coming in, obsessed with this game. People are playing this game all the time. And like around the same time that this happens, this like new sickness, this virus, this disease starts making the round. the rounds around the town. People get infected and they become like really paranoid, really angry. Plus, there's also like this storm coming in. Everything that could go wrong is gonna go wrong. Andy, being the smart girl that she is like, wait a minute. This all started happening when Polybius entered the chat. She's like, something's wrong with this fucking game. It's this game's fault. And so her and this guy who's like the son of the sheriff, I think, or something, who might be hot, I'm assuming he's hot, start to like investigate and start to try to figure out if they can, fix things. I'm glad I honestly did just now read the synopsis because this sounds really cool. I also love books set in the 80s. I wasn't alive in the 80s, I swear, because it's kind of like a nostalgia for something that I've never had. Let me know in the comments if you've read that book and what you thought of it. I would love to know. This isn't horror, but the way that I have been living under a rock apparently, because I have never heard of this until recently, where I just all of a sudden saw it everywhere. Like everyone was reading it, everyone was obsessed. And I was like, okay, well, I'm nothing if not influenced by peer pressure. I will buy things if everyone else loves it. And that is Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinniman. They've been releasing these like hardcover editions of the books. I think originally they were self-published. These ones are cute. I like these. I did only buy book 1 because I have self-control. Contrary to what you believe, Tiffany, I do have self-control. Like a smidge, just like a smidge, not even that much. I'm really excited to read this. I was actually on Sprints yesterday with my patrons and we were talking about this book and somebody said that they were reading it and that it was like already a 5-star read. And they were like, yeah, and I'm on chapter 2. It's a 5-star read at chapter 2? That's crazy. I'm very excited to read this. I can't wait. From what I know, it's about this guy named Carl. I love saying that name, Carl. It's about this guy named Carl, obviously. He is like one of the survivors of the apocalypse. A lot of people have died, but from my understanding, he gets put into this like game show thing with his ex-girlfriend's cat named Princess, I think, or something like that. And it says on the inside that the apocalypse will be televised. Welcome, Crawler. Welcome to the dungeon. Survival is optional. Keeping the viewers entertained is not. So fun. I'm really excited. There's also like 8 books or something. I think they're still coming out, but you know what? Maybe I'll buy all of them. Can I be serious though for just like 1 second? I am actually quite proud of myself for buying this and only this one because I kind of wanted to buy the rest of them. I kind of wanted to buy book 2 and book 3, but I didn't because I'm a good girl. Bat Eater and Other Names for Cora Zhang. This book is one that I saw a few other booktubers, specifically I think like horror booktubers reading, specifically Jan. I don't know why I'm saying booktubers as if it's like multiple. I just saw Jan reading it and I was like, Jan bought Army Pants and Flip Flops, so I bought Army Pants and Flip Flops. Like that's the vibe. This is basically about this girl, of course, named Cora. Cora is a crime scene cleaner. And you would think like that's a horrifying job. That's like really hard. Cora has already seen a lot of fucked up shit. Cora witnessed her sister being pushed in front of a train and the murderer, the person who murdered her sister, yelled out the words Bat Eater, which is a crazy thing to yell. And I don't understand it, but either way, she's already seeing fucked up things. And then also it's like, is Cora actually just like losing her mind? Because Cora doesn't mind the gruesome gore of her crime scenes, but like touching people's hands, the subway, the bite marks on her coffee table, she doesn't know what's real, what's not real. Also, what's interesting, and something that I don't think Cora has put together yet, is that like all of the crime scenes that she's cleaning, all of the people who have been killed are East Asian women. I kind of think that there's like a serial killer. And I think it honestly might be Cora. I haven't read this book. I don't know. But I feel like Cora might be like killing people. But also maybe it's not her. Maybe it's somebody else. I don't know. I'm really excited to read this because I do think Jan liked it. I think she liked it. I don't remember actually. This cover is absolutely stunning. I am honestly glad though that I did see Jan talk about this because otherwise I would have thought that it was a short story collection. Just because like and Other Names for, in my mind immediately I'm like, that's a short story collection. Let's also talk about this book, Blood on Her Tongue by Joanna Van Veen. Look at the sprayed edges, my guy. Look at those little blood bubbles. Do you see them? That's crazy. This cover is absolutely stunning. It's gorgeous. Everything about it is gorgeous. What's it about, you ask? That's a really great question. I was going to call you Ashley. What was I going to call you Ashley? Should I change Tiffany to Ashley? I honestly, can I be honest? I don't want to be mean. I've never met a nice Ashley. I think it's honestly like a me thing. I think me and Ashley's, we don't vibe. I've never met an Ashley that I like. I'm so sorry if your name is Ashley. Anyway, imagine it's 1887 in the Netherlands, right? And you have a sister. Her name is Lucy. She is unwell. She's sick. And you're worried absolutely to death, because she is paranoid and she keeps talking about this old corpse that was found on her husband's property. I'm trying to figure out what's going on, trying to solve this mystery of like what's going on with your sister, because you don't want her to be put into like an asylum, because back in those days, my guy, wasn't great. The institutions were not great. They were like, hey, women, don't be hysterical. Instead, just like sit in a room and do absolutely nothing. That was like their idea of like fixing people. The worst happens. Your sister, Lucy, she starts getting really angry. Also really hungry. You know what? Your twin sister isn't named Lucy. You're Lucy. Sorry about that. You come to suspect that something is trying to possess your beloved sister. Lucy, our main character, must reckon with the dark, monstrous truth or risk losing her sister forever. This sounds so good, bro. I love maybe like a vampire possession kind of story. I also love stories between like family members, because it's always like the juiciest, most like messy shit. Let's take a little teeny tiny itsy bitsy break from the horror and let's talk about some gay shit. Let's talk about the redacteds. We have GDL, but this is by Casey Cox. This is another Casey Cox novella. I don't own a single Casey Cox novel. I just own their novellas. Hello, that's so small. And then, oh my God, shut up. I just love the idea of like big, fat, muscular men just doing it with other dudes who are also big, fat, muscular men. I love that. And like, that's what Casey Cox delivers each and every single time. That's why I love them. Anyway, this, I genuinely have no idea what it's about. A seasoned reporter chasing a comeback story. A rising internet star hiding a big secret. Oh my God, me? No, it's not. Professional boundaries blur in this delightfully sexy age gap by awakening short story. Casey, I love a bi guy. Take my fucking money, bro. If you haven't checked out Casey Cox and you like reading gay shit, this is your chance, my guy. This is your sign. This is your warning. Do it. Let me also talk about this book really quickly, because it's part of a series. And it was just like the last thing that I needed to complete my set. And that is George R.R. Martin's A Feast for Crows. This is a hardcover copy. I found it at a local used bookstore for $20, which is a fucking steal. And it's the only one that I didn't have in hardcover. Tiffany, you know me. What am I? I'm cheap and I'm fucking lazy. I don't want to pay $48 to buy this brand new. That's way too much money. I've just been kind of like waiting to find it like a good deal, and I finally found it. So now I have all of the Song of Ice and Fire books in hardcover. Another book that I bought, because I have the first book, but I don't have the second book. And I was kind of mad that I couldn't find the second book that matches my edition. I also found it on sale at Winners of all places, which is so weird. Winners is basically like a Home Sense, because I know that in America you guys have a Home Sense. I was told that you guys don't have Winners. I found this at Winners for $10. Bringer of Dust by J.M. Miro. I have the first book. I've never read the first book. But I found the second book and it matches my cover, so I bought it. And again, Tiffany, while we're here, let me just mention, I did also pick up Son of the Poison Rose by Jonathan Mulberry. It's not your berry, it's Mulberry. He probably hates that. This is the sequel to Kagan the Damned, which is one of my favorite synopsises to talk about because it's so funny. Because I just imagine that Kagan is just like a bitter old queen. Like, I just imagine that he's like, fine, do whatever you want. I'm better off without you guys anyway. I also haven't read the first book. Listen, if you know anything about me, what you'll know is that I buy sequels to fantasy series indiscriminately. Indiscriminate, I don't know. If I have the first book, I'll buy the second book. I'll buy the third book, and I won't have read any of them. And I'm special that way. I'm not like other girls. I'm different. I have one more sequel, and that is A Pretender's Murder by Christopher Huang. This is the sequel to this book, which is called Unnatural Ends, also by Christopher Huang, obviously. They sent me this, I think a year ago. I never hauled it. I don't know why. But these books, I believe, are murder mysteries. I also haven't read either of them, but this one is an advanced reader's copy. I think they're also set in like the early 1900s. Let me know if any of you have read these books and what you thought of them. I would love to know your opinion. Thank you so much to Christopher and his team for sending them to me. Let's go back to the horror. I also have Rest Stop by Nat Cassidy. It's crazy that I haven't bought this book until now. I honestly was just like too lazy to order it online, but I found it at the bookstore. I have read this already. This is about a guy who is on his way to see his dying grandmother. She's a terrible person, but he's doing it for his family. On the way there, he stops at a rest stop, but he gets held up at that rest stop. And I won't say anything other than that, but it's a horror novel and it's absolutely hog fucking wild. Overgrowth by Mira Grant. This one just came out. And I'm honestly also kind of noticing a trend of publishing like plant horror kind of books, which I really, really love. I love a plant horror. I think that's mostly because of The Ruins by Scott Smith. Mira Grant, I have mixed feelings on because Mira Grant is also Seanan McGuire, right? I don't really love Seanan McGuire's stuff, but Mira Grant, I think she's okay because I did read The Drowning Deep and I did like that. This book sounds crazy. This is about this girl named Anastasia. Ever since she was 3 years old, she's been telling anyone and everyone that she's an alien and that one day her real parents, her alien freaky parents, will come back to get her. She's sure of it. Since she was 3. Do you know what people do when they hear her talk about these things? Nothing. They ignore her. They're like, okay, Anastasia, you're crazy. Either that or like you're a kid. You're just like playing make-believe. But then one day, what happens? The aliens come. The aliens start to invade. And Anastasia is like, what the fuck did I say? What did I say? I told you they're coming for me. So what happens when you know what's coming and just refuse to listen? I'm excited to read this because, okay, I did kind of think it was like a plant horror, but maybe I'm wrong. But also maybe I'm not wrong. Like, look at the cover, dude. There's like a plant. Maybe they're like plant aliens. I don't know. I'm excited to read this though. It sounds freaky deaky. Some YA horror that I have is They Bloom at Night. This is by Trang Than Tran. This cover, ever since the moment I saw it, I knew no matter what, I needed this. Look at this. Oh my God. Also, from what I've heard, this is like gay horror, which is my thing. You know I love that. I'll take gay horror where I can get it. This is about this place called Mercy. After this hurricane, Mercy has been inundated with this like red algae stuff, but it seems like it's not great. Maybe it's poisonous. Noon and her mom kind of patrol, kind of hunt through the wreckage, trawling for the mutated wildlife that lurks in the water and trading it to the corrupt harbor master. So they're just trying to like make a living. They're trying to survive. And Noon is fine with that because Noon doesn't want to think about what happened at the bay. Noon doesn't want to think about the monster. Noon doesn't want to think about the itching that she feels underneath her skin. Things are getting worse. In Mercy, people are disappearing. So the harbor master is like, hey, Noon, you should go like try to find out if there's like a monster or whatever and like solve this like whole mystery for us. Because yeah, you, a teenage girl, is gonna be able to do that. Sure. This guy sucks. Like immediately he sucks. But Noon is like, fine, I'll do it. Plus this girl who is, I think, the harbor master's daughter named Covey goes with her, which I think is like the gay thing. I think that's like where the gay thing comes in. After all, Noon is no stranger to monsters. I'm so excited to read this. I'm so excited to read it. It sounds so good. It's gay. It's got monsters. It's got like people dying and stuff like that. Like it's fun. I think I have one more horror book to talk to you about, and then the rest of it is kind of a little bit all over the place. We've got like romance, we've got fantasy, we've got thrillers, etc., etc. Anyway, but this, I think this is horror, and that's Natural Beauty by Ling Ling Huang. First of all, had no interest in this, like even a little bit. I kind of was like, whatever, it doesn't seem like my kind of thing. It seemed a little bit too like smarty pants because I'm really not that much of a smarty pants. I know I seem like I am. I know it seems like I really am, but I'm not. But then I saw people talking about it, specifically Kayla. And even though Kayla and I have very different taste in books, like very different, she hates what I love. I hate what she loves. There's so many good reviews for this. So many people have raved about it that I think I need it. So when I saw it at the bookstore the other day, I was like, fine, I'll buy it. Plus, I know also this author just came out with a new novel and I do want to read that one too. But I figured I should pick up this one first and then check out the second one. I honestly just don't know if it's actually horror. This sounds a lot like something that I would actually really like. So this is about an unnamed narrator. She is like a piano prodigy, I think. But then one day her parents both, I think, die or get into like some horrible kind of accident. She decides to kind of like abandon all of that and start working at this store, which is known for its remarkable products and procedures. She starts working there and she gets close to this woman named Helen and they start a friendship, kind of like maybe turns into more. Kind of seems also like a little bit gay. And I love that. love. While all of this is happening, our narrator is piled with products that slim her thighs, smooth her skin, and lighten her hair. But beneath these creams and tinctures lies something sinister. That thing of like beauty is pain, capitalism is a nightmare. I'm excited to read this. Let me know in the comments if you have read this, what you thought of it. Let me know if you want to see me read it, maybe like in a reading vlog. Let's quickly talk about this book because I have already read it, and that is It's a Love Skate Relationship. This is a YA romance sapphic novel. This is about this girl. She is a hockey player, and she's like a devout hockey player. She loves hockey more than anything. Like, it's her entire personality. But then she ends up getting into a fight, and she ends up being transferred to her hockey team's like rival. She ends up having to help her enemy, who is this like figure skater. But then, oh no, maybe they'll fall in love. It's very, very cute. It's just like, hey, what happens when a butch girl starts figure skating? It's the cutest thing. I really like it. Tiffany, Ashley, whatever your name is, we need to talk about this, okay? This is When the Tides Held the Moon by Vanessa Vida Kelly. Look at that cover. This book is heavy. And when I first picked it up, I was like, why is it so heavy? It's because it's illustrated on the inside, and it's absolutely stunning. Let me show you. We have pages like this, first of all, where there's this blue accent. It has all of these stunning illustrations on the inside. It's just one of the most beautiful books I've ever seen. And this is what I really love in terms of like book publishing, how we're innovating a traditional book. Yeah, a sprayed edge is cute, but like I want to see something like this where like there's like different colors on the inside, where we have like illustrations. There's incorporation in the text with these illustrations. Like, it's just stunning. I couldn't love it more. From what I know, this is a romance between a mermaid and a man. That's about all I know. And I'm really too lazy to read the synopsis. Either way, this is one of the best purchases I think I've made all year long. Speaking of stunning books, let's talk about Dream Slinger by Gracie Kim. Did you hear my stomach rumbling? I'm so hungry, but this is a middle grade novel. When I saw this cover, I thought, yeah, that's something I'm gonna need. But then I read the inside too. I read the synopsis and I was further blown away. In this, we're following Aria. She's 14 years old and she is what they call a dream slinger, a safe haven for children born with a genetic mutation that transports them to a powerfully magical realm while they sleep. Aria has this. She can do this, but there was like this huge thing, this accident thing that killed like hundreds of people because of the dream slingers. They've kind of like chilled out. There's people like Aria's dad who are like, hey, safety first, friends. But then these big honchos, like the government, I think, in this world are like, hey, we're gonna hold these trials for dream slingers. Have people from all over come and like, you know, participate in these trials. And the winner can be part of community or like club or whatever. I don't know. Our girl Aria is like, I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna do it so I can take him down from the inside, bro. The trials introduce Aria to a world of wondrous magic and friendship, a world where she finally feels like she belongs. As dark secrets from the past are revealed, ones that make Aria question her very identity, she becomes even more determined to discover the truth she needs to survive the trials first. I love books like this where it's like, oh no, I have to be part of these trials. Like, it kind of reminds me of Morrigan Crow, like the first book, and I love that. I bought this book very much on like a whim, and that is Summer Girls by Jennifer Duggan. This is a sapphic YA romance, I think, and it just looks so cute and gay, and I was like, fine, I'll buy it. This is about these two girls. One of them is named Cass and the other one is named Birdie. Now Cass is staunchly against the summer girlies, against the beach girlies. She has like this rule where she like refuses to date a beach girly, a summer girl, as the title suggests. And then there is Birdie, who is a summer girl. But Birdie ends up being like punished by her father or like grounded for something. He enlists Cass, who is his boss's daughter, to help Birdie sort of like get out of this summer girl vibe. Cass and Birdie hate each other. But guess what? They're gonna fall in love, I think. I think they're gonna fall in love and it's gonna be really cute. And maybe they'll both be summer girlies. Anytime Akwaeke Emezi releases YA or middle grade, I'm legally bound. I legally have to buy it. And this is no exception. So Medina by Akwaeke Emezi. Look at this cover. I have read Pet, but I have not read Bitter. But I loved Pet so much when I read it that ever since I'm like, anything that Akwaeke does, I'm paying attention. I'm there. I love their books so much. The back cover says, and I quote, "There is a pattern to things with our people and the magic. When your body starts to change, the magic would enter you and the gift would be born, a bequest from Allah, a welcome into the threshold of adulthood, the crocodile crawling over your spirit and gifting you with its bite." 100,000% yes. I don't even need to know what it's about. I know that I'm going to read it and I'm probably going to love it. I also just like cannot get over this cover. It's so beautiful. I saw Katie talk about this book like after I already bought it, and I like messaged her immediately and I was like, "Katie, we own the same book. We have to buddy read it." Katie, if you're watching this is me once again saying that we should buddy read The Raven Scholar. This book is crazy, bro. Look at it. Oh my God. On camera, you can't even see it, but then boom. Okay, I bought this because the reviews for it were crazy. Everyone loved it. But then also just like the way that it feels nice. I just love a book that's like so, you know, like rectangle. I love that. This is set in this place called Orun. It's been peaceful for like 20 years or something, but now peace, it's over. The king or the emperor or whatever, like he's died. These like 7 warriors, thinkers, scholars come up and they're like, "We're going to replace him." But then one of them is killed. It falls to Nima, the emperor's brilliant idiosyncratic fucking boom high scholar to find the killer and fight for the throne. Nima believes she is alone, but we are here to help. All she has to do is let us in. If she succeeds, we will win an empire. If she fails, death awaits her, but we won't let that happen. I don't know what that means. Maybe it's like a choose your own adventure kind of thing. I don't know. Seems fun. And also, it doesn't seem like it involves romance even a little bit. And I fucking love that, because I would hate for this to be like some kind of bullshit romantasy thing. Katie, we should read this together. Another sequel. This is a sequel to a mystery series. This is Strawberry Shortcake Murder by Joanne Fluke. I bought the first book and I read the first book, really liked it. So I'm going to continue on with the series. This is about a woman who owns a bakery in this small, cute, cozy little town. But oh no, people keep being murdered and she has to solve the murder. All while talking about baked goods. There's also like recipes in these books, which is really, really fun. I do want to eventually, I think, make some of these recipes because they always sound so good. I also have this book, which I also bought from Winners for $10, and that is An Antique Hunter's Guide to Murder. I love a murder mystery lately. I don't know what it is. I'm a huge fan of a murder mystery, which reminds me, actually, there's another book that I forgot to grab for this book haul. I'll have to grab that in a second. But this is a murder mystery, I'm assuming, about an antique hunter. And he's like, you know, hunting antiques, but then somebody dies. It says on the inside, what antique would you kill for? So maybe somebody dies because somebody else wanted their antique, which is crazy. So yeah, I'm excited to read this. Let me know in the comments if you've read this, what you thought of it. Also, let me know if you have any like murder mystery recommendations. I would love to know. Speaking of books that I forgot to grab before filming, one of them was Garlic and the Vampire. This is like a little graphic novel. I bought the second book, which is Garlic and the Witch, without realizing it was the second book. So I finally bought the first book. I also already read both of them, and they are the cutest thing I think I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm not even being hyperbolic, Tiffany. They're so cute, I could actually die. It's about this little garlic. And it's cute, okay? Just read them. I also have Murder in the Dressing Room. This is by Holly Stars, who I think is a drag queen. Yeah, she's a drag queen. This is about a drag queen. Her drag mother ends up being murdered, so she has to like solve it because it's all very like suspicious. I just love this cover. I will never get over this cover. It's so pretty. I also started reading this. I'm only a few chapters in, but so far so good. I have this book because my friend told me like a year ago that she read this and that she really liked it and she recommended it to me, but I always wanted to find it in hardcover, and I finally did at Winners, which is so weird. But either way, it was $10, so I bought it. I genuinely don't know what it's about, but the cover is absolutely stunning. There was, and there was not, as all stories begin, a princess cursed to be poisonous to the touch. I think this is about a girl who has spent most of her life in the dungeons, even though she's a princess, because she is poisonous to the touch. And I think she doesn't want to hurt anyone, but her brother's wedding is coming up. And so she's like, should I risk it? Should I go? But then I think there's a guy who's like going to be her love interest. I don't know. Another middle grade book. And I bought this on a whim. I don't know a single thing about it. I barely read the synopsis. I bought it because it was just cute. It looked nice. And like it had pictures on the inside. That is The Mysterious Benedict Society. This is a middle grade series. There's like multiple books actually. They're on the back. Like look how uniform this book is. I just love the way that it looks, the way that it feels. Also, the inside has these cute illustrations in it. Like, how could I not buy this? So basically there's this ad in the newspaper and it's like, hey, are you a smart kid? You should like do this test. So like a bunch of kids do this test and only 4 of them pass. So these 4 kids are like, you're special, complete this mission. Their challenge is to go on a secret mission that only the most intelligent and resourceful children could complete. With their newfound friendship at stake, will they be able to pass the most important test of all? Don't judge me. Quickly also talk about this book because I think I did talk about this in a vlog. This is Till Death Do Us Barred. The cutest title in the world. This is about a couple who I think get married. And it's supposed to be like a cozy fantasy, but like a cozy fantasy with higher stakes. It's a charming queer fantasy full of marriage, magic, and monster slaying. I've heard good things, but I've also heard very like meh things. So we'll see. I also think that the author released a new book as well. I don't think from the same like series, but like with a similar vibe. I've never read anything from Joe Abercrombie, but when I saw this book and I saw like the inside of it, I was like, I need that. Physically, spiritually, sexually. I need it. And that is The Devils by Joe Abercrombie. I always want to say Abercrombie, but it's not. It's a new epic fantasy from New York Times bestselling author, featuring a notorious band of anti-heroes on a delightfully bloody and raucous journey. But let me show you what's really important about this book, okay? Just the general design of the book is so beautiful, and it is what sold me on buying it. What annoys me though, personally, is my specific edition, for some reason, it got scratched up on the back. I don't know if you can see that. That annoys me. This is about this guy named Brother Diaz, right? He has been sent to the sacred city where he is certain a condemnation and grand holy assignment awaits him. But his new flock is full of like murderers, practitioners of ghastly magic, and outright monsters. The mission he is tasked with will require bloody measures from all of them in order to achieve its righteous ends. But elves lurk on the edges of the city. These elves hunger for flesh. Not great. Greedy princes care for nothing but their own ambitions and comfort. With an epic, hellish journey before him, it's a good thing Brother Diaz has the devils on his side. This sounds like so much fun. It sounds crazy, but so much fun. I wonder also if this is going to be like a standalone or if this is like a new series for Joe. I don't know. I do own a few of Joe's books. Never read any of them. I'm a bad person. I'm a horrible person. What can I say? The Sapling Cage. This is by Margaret Killjoy. This is about a trans person, I believe. This is about Laurel. Laurel loves witchcraft. She loves witches. She's always wanted to be a witch. The only issue is that she was born a boy and only women can be witches. When the coven comes to claim her best friend, Laurel disguises herself in a dress and she joins her place. She soon discovers the dark powers confronting the kingdom. A magical blight scars the land and the power-mad Duchess Helty is crushing everything between her and the crown. Despite the chaos, Laurel makes friends and begins learning about magic. However, she fears that her new friends and mentors will find her secret and kick her out of the coven, or worse. I honestly very rarely ever see books actually about witches. Like it seems like it's gonna be about a witch, but then it never is. And so I'm really excited about this because I want so badly to read about witches, bro. What happened to just like a good old fashioned witch story, but then also like make it trans? It's perfect. I'm so excited for this. One of the last books that I have is this one that I bought on a whim. I've literally like never even heard of it. But then I saw the cover, I saw the sprayed edges, and I know you're thinking, Jordan, you don't even care about a sprayed edge. Usually I don't. But then I saw this and I was like, give it to me. Voyage of the Damned by Frances White. Hello? What do you mean? The back of it is like this fish. I don't like fish, but that's cool as hell. This is about a bunch of people on a boat. They're all like really important, but then there's one of them who isn't, but then there's a murder. Okay, and like listen, I looked on Goodreads before I bought this and I looked at reviews and somebody said that it was like Fruits Basket, but gay with a shit ton of murder. And I was like, you sold me. That's all I need to know. Fruits Basket, but gay? Yes, I'm really excited to read this. Let me know in the comments if you've read it, what you thought of it. I need to know your opinion. If you loved it, please tell me. If you hated it, please tell me. We have this. This is a huge copy of the Tea Dragon Society. I don't own this book, or I didn't own this book in the normal size, but then I saw this, which is called, by the way, the Treasury Edition, and I needed it. They also had the second book, but then I changed my mind and I didn't get the second book. I kind of regret that I didn't get the second book. I wish I had, but either way, look at this. It's huge. It's absolutely huge. Why is it so big? I'm so glad that I bought this because I just think it's so beautiful. And like, why wouldn't you want art like this to be huge? You know what I mean? I want the entire series in this size. I really should have bought book 2. I don't know why I didn't. The last things I'm going to mention in this book haul are volume 1 and volume 2 of Fence. I've heard so many good things about this series. C.S. Pacat, I think, writes them. And then they are illustrated by Joanna the Mad and Joanna Lufente. Also, when I bought them, the guy at the comic book store, the fencing is like accurate. Like the movements are accurate. And I was like, whoa, that's crazy. Also, apparently it's super gay, which like isn't surprising considering that C.S. Pacat wrote it, because I know that she loves gay things. I'm really excited to read this. Let me know in the comments if you have read this, what you thought of it. I would love to know. I think I might read it ASAP because it sounds so good. It sounds so fun. Tiffany, my friend, my family. Thank you so much for being here, for spending this time with me. It's been so much fun. If you watched all the way through, first of all, thank you so much. Second of all, leave me this emoji in the comments. That way, like, we both know that like you are the MV fucking P. You're the VIP kind of bitch. Also, don't forget to hit subscribe because we talk about spooky shit. We talk about creepy shit. We talk about, what do we talk about? We talk about buying a lot of books on vacation and shit. Also, don't forget to leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you've read any of these books, what you thought of them. If you want to read them, please let me know. I'd love to hear your opinions and what you think. It's been so good seeing you. It's been so much fun. I wish we could do this all freaking day, but we can't. I have places to be. I have people to see. I'm also very hungry. I will see you in my next one. Okay, Tiffany? Also, thank you so much to Craftsy for sponsoring today's video. Thank you. I hope you have a wonderful day. Don't forget also that you're literally freaking stunning. You're freaking gorgeous. I just want to take like 1,000 photos of you and plaster them on my walls so everybody knows that you're so beautiful. I don't want to like be too obvious about my crush on you, but anyway, okay, I'll see you later. Bye. See you later. Bye.